Smackdown, Smackdown, Smackdown. And you know what? I felt like I need to come back and do this. Something about the other video was very low energy I just did for Smackdown. Like I had no juice. But tonight's Smackdown. Something about Smackdown tonight I thought. You know, through 4 days in Brooklyn, from TakeOver to SummerSlam to Monday Night Raw, and here we are again, SmackDown tonight, Brooklyn, same here. We've seen a lot from title changes, a bad SummerSlam, beach balls, Mexican waves, a lot of changes. But what happens tonight on SmackDown? What is one thing can we say about SmackDown that happened? Was it glorious? Was it somebody that used to come out to ain't no stopping me? Yeah. Or a lot of things happened on SmackDown tonight. Was it for the better in a way? Somewhat of a decent show after the debacle of last week. Let's get into SmackDown pretty much. A lot has happened on here. As AJ Styles came out, still the US champion, got a big pop. Pretty much said the house that AJ Styles built. And he is the workhorse of the WWE. And we're doing the open challenge again. So anybody that wants to face me right now for the title, bring it on. Kevin Owens, which I wish this feud would end already now because this has gone on too long, pretty much said, you did not win. Once again, a McMahon has screwed over another Canadian legend 20 years later, though, in a way. And that, you know, Shane McMahon came out and says AJ won fair and square. He called it down the middle. So, yeah, but Kevin Owens says, you were in a helicopter crash. You falling off buildings, but you get grazed by a 450 splash, and you can't do nothing then. And he showed video footage of his foot being on the ropes, but yeah, it was already 3 before it could hit the foot on the rope. Next thing you know, Kevin Owens says he wanted a rematch. Don't give me a referee again because my shoulder was up from the one from 2 weeks ago, and you know he wanted his U.S. title. But Shane said the better man won, as him and Shane argued. AJ says, you know what? Owens, you pretty much called me whiny ass bitch, and he says, you know what? I'll give you another shot. All right, you're gonna get another shot because you know nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna beat you again, so I can just shut you up. But Owens says, you know, I got screwed by WWE official and Shane McMahon, so you know what? I'm going to get my own referee. And you know, AJ, pretty much he's an idiot, agreed to it, as he called him, and pretty much Shane McMahon agreed. But he says if you lose this is the last time you go against AJ Styles for the US title. Next thing you know, gender person, I'm just getting tired over this point, saying he's brought value back to the WWE Championship. Okay, that's stupid. But Daniel Bryan says, you know, Shinsuke wants some redemption, so he's putting him in with the Singh brothers tonight. Next thing, you know, and I'll say this about the AJ Owens. So this thing should have ended at SummerSlam. I think we've gone on way too long with this, so it's just gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous at this point. Kevin Owens talked to Sami Zayn and he says, you know, the only one I can trust. You've known each other for 15 years. We've wrestled against each other, with each other, and you're the longest person you've known in wrestling. And Sami Zayn says, you know, I watched your DVD and talk about all the memories, what happened, and he wondered, what are we fighting for at this point? Why are we even fighting? As Owens pretty much went on to say, you know, Sami, ever since you've gotten here to SmackDown, you haven't done anything important. Which is actually true. He's done nothing really important on SmackDown. He's just sitting around. Next thing you know, Aiden English was singing something in the ring until it happened. And, you know, I'll say this right here before I begin this. I thought he would have probably done a rematch with Drew Galloway or McIntyre or whatever for the NXT Championship. But I guess not. And we're just going to move on. And I guess, you know, since Adam Cole is there now, Bebe and Ring of Honor crew, which he'll probably go against Galloway next for the title. So tonight was glorious. Bobby Roode came out, pretty much the same robe he had on TakeOver. Everybody was going nuts for it. They were singing the song. Something I kind of add the glorious it factor of professional wrestling. Just kind of adding the whole it factor and glorious thing together. But people were singing glorious, and even I remember JBL said something about beer money and everything. So Bobby Roode, the former TNA champion, tag team champion, you know, beer money, Team Canada, you know, it pays to be rude, all that type of stuff. It's crazy, the it factor. But today it was glorious. All right, glorious. So pretty much he was on when he went into English, which I wish I didn't do that whole commercial thing. I was surprised this was a lengthy, not a lengthy match, but I'm surprised this wasn't a squash match. But I guess it was a way to showcase Roode. People were with him with this whole gimmick, which has gotten him really over. Some people think Bobby Roode's a wrestler. I've always liked him. I've watched him throughout the years, but I'm not saying he's never over. Mostly when he's over, when people chant his name, say Bobby Roode and stuff. But hey, this whole gimmick worked with the glorious name. Now will it work in the coming weeks when we're in a different city, not Brooklyn? I don't know, but he was interviewed after, and he pretty much congratulated Shane and Daniel for signing the hottest free agent, and everything he touches, turns into the box office when the crowd is with him. By the way, he was a face out here, and he said Smackdown, it's not going to be great, it's going to be glorious, as he puts it. So Bobby Roode, a good addition to SmackDown, and it should give SmackDown some momentum, hopefully. Next thing you know, Daniel Bryan talking to Chad Gable about, the whole Jason Jordan thing going to Raw. And he felt like he needed a partner because he got cheated out of the tag team, which I thought we were going to see Chad Gable go in a singles run, but I guess not. Next thing you know, the return of Shelton Benjamin, his new partner, as the crowd popped for Shelton being back last year. I believe he tore his rotator cuff. He was supposed to come last year, but this year it looks like he's going to come this time. Pretty much a year later, around this time, really, kind of after SummerSlam in a way. And, he believes they can make a great team together, as Gable is ecstatic, and Gable pretty much, he's followed Benjamin's career all the way back to college, and Benjamin said, he's followed the same, from the University of Minnesota and stuff, and Brian says, you guys are going to show it off next week. That's what you're going to do this next week. Next thing you know, Hype Bros came out. There's a team we haven't seen in a long while because we thought they were going to break up. But they went against the Usos. Pretty much a non-title match. Pretty good match, I'll say. That crowd was into it. Most heavily, writers from the New York area, and the Usos are over. Pretty much good. Usos won with a super kick. And then they pretty much says they put the whole tag team division on notice. We're calling out everybody. It's that paranoia. It's the Usos. And hopefully we have more tag teams, because not a lot of tag teams when you look at it. Since we got Gable and Shelton together, Breezango, if they ever get back to the ring, the New Day still, Ascension, but I don't know, the tag teams are so focused around New Day and Usos, you forget there's other tag teams around here. But pretty much a good match. Keep it going. Nakamura, Shinsuke, when he gets the Singh brothers, always over his entrance. I don't know, he was selling to these guys, but he beat them with a pretty much a triangle, pretty much armbar triangle thing, and won. Mahal tried to attack after, but Nakamura took him out with the Kinshasa, which I wish they would have just did that at SummerSlam instead of continued this feud, because I don't know what to really go through this. I thought it was odd. I believe JBL said Shinsuke, his career highlight, one of the best moments in his career was him facing Jinder. Okay now, buddy. So I don't know where we're gonna go with this. Mahal is just a joke of a champion, and still doing the same finish with the Singh brothers like they did with Orton. And I don't know how good this whole Nakamura versus Mahal thing go, but I don't really see a lot of positives through this, unless it's Nakamura win the title and that's the end of it and move on. Because this Jinder thing is just Next thing you know, Kevin Owens still looking for referees. Breezango wanted to do it, but he said no, and you're not even gonna try to get this shirt. Go away. It says to be continued. You're not gonna continue. You're gonna continue walking. Corbin, a man who has been buried by John Cena and looked like an idiot from losing Money in the Bank last week, he says, "I'll do it, but you give me a shot at the U.S. title." And Owen says, "When I win, you got a deal." Natalya came out wearing her jacket pretty much like at a SummerSlam, like a Bret Hart Foundation, which still looked cool. It's all about the glow was unplugged. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Next thing you know, Carmella comes out with James Ellsworth. I don't even understand Carmella's gear being a onesie, and talked about, I let you have your moment since you've won something, and you need to watch out because it's TikTok, which it was Naomi and Becky versus Natalya and Carmella. But since the crowd did not care, they went back to going playing with beach balls and doing the Mexican wave again, since they did not care about this tag team match. Even through commercial, when it came back, I saw the crowd doing the Mexican wave and they were throwing a beach ball. I know security tried to beat them to it, but yeah, they pretty much came in again with the beach ball and the beach ball and Mexican wave. They did not care about this tag team match. I don't know, Natalya, which some people thought she would lose and just lose the title here, with the cash in. Carmella was in and pretty much got a split-legged moonsault from Naomi. Some people, the Money in the Bank things and working with her, it's, kind of not make her look strong. She's going to take the pin here, but I guess it'll be a rematch or something. Next thing you know, Dolph Ziggler, a guy who's haven't been seen in 2 months, I believe, pretty much was in an interview talking about this is how you reintroduce him back to SmackDown. I watched a lot of Raw and SmackDown today, and he's finally figured out to be in the key star, a big star in WWE. Get a big spotlight, fancy robe, beautiful women, glow in the dark, laser lights, pretty much naming multiple people's gimmicks. And that's how you become a big star. And he's going to do all that next week. Same kind of old Ziggler, just complaining like he did before and whining. And what's weird is that when he came back, it looked like the crowd did not care in that. Like, he was back, but it just looked like there were boos more than cheers. And he's still healed, too. Personally, I think Dolph Ziggler just needs to leave WWE and go back to the whole, he needs to take the Cody Rhodes approach and do something. I don't know, go to Japan, because Ziggler here just ain't working. I don't know what to say about Ziggler at this point in time. It's like a half glass full with him, and it's almost like the same thing even when he's gone. It's just like, I really thought he would have been released away out of his contract and leave. I don't know what's going to happen with Dolph Ziggler, so you got to take his with a half glass full or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what he's going to do. Come out and do that people's gimmicks? I'm not sure. Tamina and Lana, Lana told Tamina to imagine being in the locker room and talking about rage and stuff, and going to Crush, and tell Rusev this to get his career back. I don't know where that's going. Corbin asked AJ Styles, "You're going to give me a shot at the title like Kevin Owens and stuff," and talking about the open challenges, and AJ said it was an open challenge. Maybe out there next week I'll give you one. Kevin Owens wins against AJ Styles again for the U.S. title with Corbin as the referee. The match wasn't much to say, just more Corbin shenanigans, pushing AJ down, trying to do fast counts multiple times, until Shane McMahon came out and took Corbin out of there and tried to get rid of him, until Corbin got pissed and pretty much threw the ref shirt at Shane McMahon after even a low blow was done on AJ Styles. Tried to get the count, but Shane pulled him. Pretty much Corbin was pissed after arguing with him, and he walked off as Kevin tried to get him back. He tried to get AJ, but he got him with a forearm, and AJ won. Hopefully we move on from this, but once again, it's going to be more and more, eventually lead into a match with Shane and Kevin Owens. So there's more to that. As for this show, it wasn't the best show. It's better than it was last week. Mostly with a better crowd. There's still questions here. Who will AJ Styles face next week? Who's going to be next for the Usos? Why are we still doing this Shinsuke versus Jinder thing now? Because this is not going to go out well. Who will Natty face? Natalya? I don't know. Because, I don't know, SmackDown's really been in the gutter lately. But this was a better show, because of, say, night after SummerSlam. And tonight we got the glorious Bobby Roode, and we got Shelton Benjamin returning. I'd say Ziggler, but I'm taking that with a half glass full. But the most things I really would say was seeing Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Roode not return, but Shelton Benjamin returning, and Bobby Roode making his Smackdown debut. But hey, that's my review. It's been a long 4 days of wrestling, from TakeOver to SummerSlam to Raw to SmackDown. Like I said, beach balls, all that stuff. Make sure you can check out all my reviews, my reactions. It was a very, very long 4 days, and in Brooklyn, even though the crowd was only good and bad at some points. So yeah. And I'll say one thing before I get off this show. I know people say this in the news lately, and if you're thinking about Brock Lesnar versus John Jones, you might as well cancel that out in your head right now, because John Jones pretty much now suspended again for taking steroids, so he's pretty much fucked. And you know, it was such a huge comeback story for John Jones. I was gonna keep this short and sweet, but how do you fuck this up and you haven't even had the belt for under a month? You had all these problems. You have the ultimate, almost like an ultimate comeback story, and you fucked up again. I am convinced John Jones is an idiot at this point, because I just don't get it. I really don't. I'm sorry, but I don't get it. And also, I believe Cass, I know I said I'd come back with news. This Cass will be out to 9 months, torn ACL. Really sucks for him. So that's, I know we're against Enzo. We'll see. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Like I said, check out my reviews and live reactions. So I'm out here. Enjoy the review.
Waiting for the bus. God knows where. Just on the spot.